guys, we are live. So, as some of you can see or remember or whatever, I used to have intro videos and outro videos, and I was going to play one of those, but they're not pertinent to what we're doing now, because as you can see here, it is Tidbits and Scribbles 2.0. We changed things up. We have a new idea. That's what we're going to go with. So, let's just jump right into it, because I'm also going to try and keep this show to an hour at most. If we have a subject that you guys are asking questions about and the question stuff goes longer, that's fine. But I'm going to try and keep it to an hour, because I'm always going to do it on Sunday and I get up very, very early. So here we go. So first things first, welcome to the new show. It wouldn't be possible without the support of my family and friends, and the encouragement of my friends that are like, yes, do this. You have good things to say. You can help a lot of people. Do this. I don't know if they're lying to me or not, but we're going to try. What everybody wants to know all the time is, how do I do what I do? The simple thing is my family supports me, gives me the time that I need, and my friends help me during that time moving forward. Hey, Hunter, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. But yes, so we're kind of changing things up. And Hunter, this might interest you a lot. I'm going to do what it is that I do. I'm going to show you increment by increment what I do. If there's a night where I need to make graphics for marketing, that's what I'm going to spend the time doing. If there's a night where I need to hammer out the words, that's what I'm going to do. This first episode, I'm just kind of breaking everything down and letting you know what's going to happen. There will probably be time for a sprint at the end. If you don't know what a sprint is, that is simply when writers get together, we say, okay, we're going to set the clock for this amount of minutes, and we're just going to word vomit on the page. Just don't worry about edits. Don't worry about storyline. Don't worry about any of it. Just get the words down. First things first, though, we have a big book signing coming up. So if you're an author, grab your table. There is only 100 spots because of how this ballroom is set up. We've only got 100 spots. Next year could be bigger. So we got to fill the 100 spots. So you got to grab them quick. If you're a reader, don't worry. You can, we are not selling tickets ahead of time, but it's $5 to get in at the door. So grab a 20, grab 3 friends and get down there, because it will be at the Peoria Civic Center. It's one of the biggest venues in Peoria. You cannot get bigger, I don't think. Don't quote me, but I don't think you can get bigger than the Peoria Civic Center. Peoria Civic Center, September 27th from 10 to 5. We are going to have so much fun. I promise. The readers are going to have fun. The authors are going to have fun. It is going to be amazing. But yeah, readers, find your new favorite author, I promise, or find your current favorite author, whatever. Come see us. Come get great books. Come meet authors. Talk to them. Hey, Dan. But the book signing at the Civic Center in September is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I am so excited to be working with the Book Nook on this. She and I are both book nerds, and we love the idea of bringing all different genres together. This is not a romance book signing at all. This is a book signing. So all kinds of books, steampunk, horror, romance. There's a couple people that write local stories. I don't have the whole list yet, because like I said, authors are still signing up. So as I get that, I will post that on Facebook and in our Facebook groups and such. If you miss an episode of this, just click back and find it, because it will always be Tidbits and Scribbles 2.0. So those are the ones that we're doing the sprints. We're actually going to do the work and get it done. We're going to hold each other accountable. Hunter, the event is called Writers and Readers Rendezvous. It will always be called that. We're not going to do anything like Writers and Readers Rendezvous, whatever the year is. Or we might do like second annual Writers and Readers Rendezvous, but you'll see it go across Facebook. And we're going to try and stay with the gold and black theme. We like that theme. We're trying to keep everything so that you see it, you know what it is. Let's see here. We used to do interviews on this show. Interviews I'll still do, but it might be like at the end, like if I get all my words down for the month, at the end of the month, I might do an interview. Because honestly, those are hard to schedule. Everybody's schedule has to align and work out, and sometimes those don't always work. So if I do an interview, it will be with someone who's not only got something to say, but someone maybe who got all their words done or who accomplished the goal that we set out to do while doing this show. So if that's you, if you've got your word count goal and you did it, you got it off to the editor, maybe I'll bring you on and we'll do like a celebration show. But this is definitely going to be a lot more accountability, a lot more, here's how I do it. Here's the nitty gritty. I'm going to split my screen and try to share with you exactly what I do and how I do it. So let's get into it. Let's do this. So bear with me here while I try and present my screen, as it's called now. Let's see. So I've got a couple things pulled up here on my computer. Let's see. Let's go to Windows. Okay, so I've got my calendar here. Accountability is nice, Hunter, because then it gives you somebody that you can say, by Wednesday, I want to get this many words written. Well, when Wednesday rolls around, that person can ask you, hey, did you hit that goal? And it doesn't even have to be like drill sergeant like, you were supposed to get that goal, you didn't do it. No, it can just be a reminder of, hey, you're supposed to get that done. You could even, when you get into it and you get writing partners that write the way you do, you could even split it as, hey, I wrote a chapter. Did you write the next chapter? Because when I co-write, I can do that. If the story's flowing and one author writes 2 or 3 chapters, that's how we do it. You just make it work for you. So what I'm showing you here is my calendar. So I have got MS Outlook. I've got Microsoft. If you don't have this, I'm sure you can find a calendar app somewhere that will let you do this. So what I've done is I said, okay, when I get up in the morning, it's 3 o'clock. By 3:30, I should be downstairs and at least be able to pop onto the computer, post something for social media, whether that's a, hey, good morning, or a post that I've already made, or it's lately I've been doing like days of the week. Like this is yesterday was National Spaghetti Day or something. Maybe that's today. I don't know. But every morning that I get up, I post. But I've set this so that this will remind me and it will say, hey, you've got something to do. So then 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. is my day job. I'm not probably going to get anything done. I try to post during my lunch break because it is a very long lunch break. So if I can, I'll post something fun on my lunch break. I'll get home, post to social media. Now, you might be thinking that this is all social media. It's not. What this is this is my reminder to say, hey, you've got something that you need to do, because when I come in my office and I post to social media, now I'm in here until about 5 o'clock, because that's about when we eat dinner. Okay, well, if I'm in here for those 2 hours, that gives me a lot of time where I can make a new social media post for the next day. I can put down more words. I can send out any kind of marketing that I need to do or want to do, or something I need to research. I've got 2 hours right there that I can do it. But both of these posts here will pop up and say, hey, you got something to do. So that 1, I don't forget, and 2, there's that accountability again. Then at 7, usually my writing partner and I can get together and as you can see, it's Monday through Friday. I don't even put Saturday in here because for me, Saturdays are insane. From one Saturday to the next, I don't know what I'm doing. This past Saturday, I did nothing as far as leave the house. Like, even though if you saw my social media post, you know what happened on Saturday. But I still got something like 4,400 words down. So for me, that's impressive. But 4,400 words down on one day, even though I was going through something. So I got that done. I knew today would be kind of an off-kilter day. So I didn't plan it. All I planned was Tidbits and Scribbles, but that's fine. It's planned. It's accounted for. And I promise you, if you don't have these days where like all of these Saturdays are not listed because I don't know what's going to go on. And rather than hold myself to, oh, I got to write on that day because, I had a half hour where I could have written. It's okay. You need a break. Whether that break is you read a book or that break is you researched something, but it was because you wanted to, you need that break. January 1st, we all know what happens there. I knew I wouldn't get any work done. So I put down no work. It's okay to schedule those in. So like if you know the 22nd, you've got a doctor's appointment and a couple other things going on, put those in there so that you've got stuff. And maybe you found a half hour in there that you can write. You can put in there. That's the time where I write. Or you can put no writing today. And it's absolutely perfectly acceptable. So here's where this comes in more fun. So I know how many days of the month right here. I can see it right here. How many I can type. Now, if I take one out, because, oh, well, there's all those appointments that day, I'm going to take that out just in case. Now, I can still write on that day, but I'm going to take that out of the equation. So I've got basically from now, 20 days. How many words do I need in a month? Because at the end of the month, where do I want to be? Okay, for me, I know that about the end of February, so 2 months from now, I want to be done with this book. So I'm at, if I can show you my other screen, which I probably can't, my computer will probably shut down. I'm at 15,000 words on my manuscript that I'm currently working on. So if I have 15,000 words and I want to get to about 80,000, I've got my work cut out for me. So I broke it down to 20 days. I thought, well, okay, that leaves 64,000 words to get down in 20 days. So I broke that down per day. Per day, that's 3240. So 3,240 words per day that I need to get done. So let me go back to just me here. Hi, Carl. Look at you showing up, you all sneaky. Okay, so I showed you my calendar, and what I do is I break it down. I've got 20 days of January left that I can write. So of those 20 days, each day I need to get 3,240 words. Now, for some people, that's a lot. That's really a lot. For me, it's not really. But I also know that I don't have to get that book off anywhere because my editor listens to me. I set the date. Some people that doesn't work. If you set a date and you know that if you play with that date and you move it around and that's going to mess up your productivity, don't move that date. But understand yourself well enough that you can put that date in March and okay, now I've got 3 months that I can get those 6,500 words or 65,000 words done. So then I push it into February. I'm like, well, let me give myself 20 more days. So you break that number in half, 1620 per day. 1620 sounds a lot more doable, a lot more realistic. Because realistically, I might have a Saturday where I can get 5,000 words down. That wasn't accounted for, but it's my bonus. So, okay, great. So now we broke it down to 1620. Now I'm not thinking, oh man, I've got to get these words down, whether they're good or not. So that is exactly how I figure it. That's how I do it. And literally, I will pull up let me present my screen again. I will pull up a document just like this one. This is exactly the document that I'm working on right now. Feel free to copy and paste and pirate. It's fine. This is my work in progress, not edited at all. Chapters aren't even labeled because I am notorious for going back and adding a chapter or taking a chapter out or moving it around. So I never ever label my chapters. So that might be something you do. Let's see, here's chapter. We don't know what number this is because it'll change by the time things are done. But I'll go here. I've got my word count. And literally, I will read maybe a page or two up just to kind of get my head back in the scene. And then game on. Let's see here. Okay, so I was doing graphics earlier today. Let me see. Let me get back here. All right. Bear with me, Carl and Dan. I know you're laughing. I'm still getting this stuff. Okay, so stop sharing. That brings me back up. Look at that, we're learning. But yes, this is how I do it. I'm trying to bring up, I was trying to figure this out earlier. Yeah, literally. Especially because I write fantasy. And sometimes you'll come across the chapter as you're editing. I edit every time I read it. But as you're editing, you'll come across the chapter and you'll think, you know, that works, but there needs to be more here. And by the time you fill that in with more meat of the story, it's lengthened and you're like, I can't make a chapter that's 15 pages long. Well, I guess I can, but yeah, it does keep changing things, doesn't it, Dan? But for me, if I change something, if I move something, I know that that's a chapter break. Or if the chapter is small enough, maybe I need to retweak it. Maybe it's just a scene break. So I don't ever number the chapters anymore because I got in big trouble with my second book. I think it was Trust. My editors were like, you've got 3 chapter 22s. No, I didn't. But it worked out. We got it all put together. But that is how I do what I do. So literally what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up the Rogue Stone and I'm going to, because I'm working on Rogue Stone book 6. I don't know if you saw that or not. And that's the other thing. The names have changed. So if you're following along and you were really hoping that it was this warrior and this woman that you hadn't met yet, calm down, because the warriors don't change names, but their mates sometimes will change a name because the name doesn't fit. And sometimes I've come across that in a story. I'll be writing along, the story will be flowing, and all of a sudden something doesn't work. And I'm messing with the story and I'm not really coming up with any scenes in my head. Nothing really works. And then all of a sudden I think to myself, well, that's because her name doesn't fit. And 3 times now, this is the 3rd time it's happened. I've had to change the name of the female main character and the story starts flowing. Like this story a couple days ago was maybe 9,000 words. Now I'm up to 15,000. So literally it's crazy, but you change the name or you change one thing. Maybe it was your hero had blue eyes and that just didn't fit with you for some reason. And it can be the weirdest thing because you'll never mention the blue eyes again. But because somewhere in your head, you're like, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Go back to it. Your brain will not let you go forward until you go back and fix that little problem. Fix the little problem, move on with what it is. And maybe that's where some people think that they have writer's block. Maybe there's something that they're not getting. But this is exactly what I do, guys. I'm going to try this one more time to present screen. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I think I can do, because there's the book that I'm working on. Windows, hey. Look at that. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, can you all see that? This is my time clock there. So what I'm trying to do here is show you that we're going to have a clock going. And literally what I'm doing is I'm just word vomiting on the page. I'm going to read a little bit of this, get myself into the story. Then I'm going to hit the timer. When this goes off, that's it. You're done. You don't even go back at it and look to edit. I mean, unless it's a glaring edit or something. But I don't usually look at it. I will leave it alone. I will keep going if my writing partner says, let's do another round. Sometimes we'll do 3 or 4 rounds, sometimes 6 rounds, depending on the writing mojo and where we're at with our stories. And I don't edit. I just, okay, I wrote that. That's fine. Let's move on. So what I'm going to try to do, okay, so that's there. You guys can still see that, right? Okay. All right, let's see. So I'm going to try to bring this up. Let me see. You guys can't see this, but I can see it, and you guys can see the time clock, right? Okay, we're going to try this just like this, and we're going to do, okay, you see the timer. Good. So we're going to try this. And I'm going to try to hit the timer, go write my words, and come back to the screen. So before I do that, though, remember I figured out my word count? Check this out. I got fancy. There we go. So now I'll pop over there to my Rogue Stone book and get it going. And here, let's go. Hey, there's our alarm. Okay, so in that amount of time, let me look here and see how much I actually got. I got half a word there. We won't count that. Let's just go here. Now this time I wasn't really sure where I was because of course I've got a couple things on my plate today. But let's try and see. Okay, so I got 292 of the words I needed. So nothing of what I needed. So basically, where's my list here? So I needed 1620. I got 292. I'm going to need a couple more words. Yep. 292 out of 1620 is not going to cut it. But I've had all day, and I've actually typed a lot more than that. So that's what we're going to go with. Why did that stop there? We'll have to figure this out. Okay, so we did not reach our word count needed. However, what I would do here is if I really didn't reach that word count, what I would do is go back to my drawing board, back to my calendar, and I would say, okay, I needed 1620, I got 292. Subtract those two numbers, and then that will give you your word count. That'll give you your word count for next time. So tomorrow, add whatever you didn't get today to your word count for tomorrow. Now that seems like a lot, but that puts the pressure on yourself to go, okay, tomorrow I really need to knuckle down. Or maybe tomorrow, instead of meeting up with a friend, I'm going to knuckle down and get these words down. Or instead of going to the grocery store, maybe I can have my spouse do that. Maybe I can have one of my kids run to the grocery store. Or instead of, whatever it is, I'm going to devote my time to getting these words down. But when you do that, when you cut something out and you say, I'm going to go to my office and I'm going to write, do that. Don't cut something out and then go do something else that isn't the first thing you intended to do. Because I found myself doing the same thing. I'm like, well, I got to write, so I'm going to put this off and I'm going to put that off. And then pretty soon I was putting things off, but I was doing other things besides writing. I was scrolling Facebook. I was playing games. I was researching. I wasn't researching a thing. So I've done all the bad habits. I've done all the tricks and things. So for tonight, that's what I've got for you guys. Like you have to knuckle down. You have to do this. Yes, Carl, I liked everybody was quiet too. I wasn't hearing any pings about anybody coming up with questions or anything. But that's kind of what I want. I want this to be a place where, Hunter, you can come, Carl, Dan, you guys, if you're working on something, come here and I'll set the timer. We'll go about our thing and we'll get this done. One freaking day at a time, 1,600 words at a time, whatever it needs to be. And don't feel like if you are a self-published author that you can't move a deadline. I hate to say it because then we keep moving deadlines, but you can move a deadline. If something comes up and you know you're not going to hit that deadline, don't put so much pressure on yourself to do it and then put out a crap book because, well, that deadline was coming up. Push the deadline back if that means that you're going to put out quality work. Don't push it back forever. Don't lean on that crutch. But you can push it back a little bit. And you can say, okay, instead of 1 month, it's going to take me 2 to get this book out. Because realistically, when you break it down on the calendar, you can really see it. You can say, well, this month, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm probably not going to get a lot of time to write. Next month, however, I can carve out time because this is ahead of time. And I can say to my family and my friends, hey, look, I'm not going to breakfast on Saturday. I'm going to take Saturday and I'm going to just write all day. If you're lucky like me, you will have a family that says, okay, that's fine. And they'll go plan something else. Or they won't plan anything at all and they'll just go about their business. And I can come in my office and just write. That was my intention yesterday. And again, it didn't work, but that was the intention and my family allowed it. They were like, we've got other things we can do. You can go do what you want. I should have gotten 15,000 words done yesterday. But because of circumstances being what they are, I didn't. I'm not going to hold myself down because, like I didn't get that done. That's not a big deal. I'm going to move it though. And I'm going to say, okay, if I want this done in 2 months, here's what I need to do. So for me, that 1620 needs to be done every single day. But now, starting tomorrow, because I know today I got more words in, I won't worry about it today. But I will recalculate and I will get a different word count and I will get this dang thing done in 2 months. There may be a couple of Saturdays where I just type, and every day that you type changes your word count goal. So every day you're forced to look at where you're at, reset, restart, and that's what this is. Every single Sunday I do this. I reset, I restart, I replan, because every week for me is different. For the most part, yeah, it's going to stay the same because my day job is the same, but that doesn't mean that afterwards it's going to be the same. Even simple things like we've got the snowstorm coming in. We were supposed to get dumped on. Up here where I live, I don't even think we got a snowflake or any snow for that matter. But anyway, I don't know. It all depends. I mean, like we were planning to not have power and, have to miss work, and there's no snow out there. Now, south of me, they got a bunch of snow. They're probably looking at something besides writing. That's really all I've got for you tonight, guys. I think I'm going to cut it short because I'm just kind of demonstrating what I did. Now, next week, I'll probably sprint twice. So if you're doing the same thing, if you're following along, maybe be ready, get your document ready, get your computer ready, or even your notebook, because all mine start on a notebook anyway. I'm looking through my list, making sure I didn't miss anything. What I'm going to do is make sure that my posts are ready for tomorrow morning. I'm going to make sure that this weekend I have time to work on oddball things so that during the week I can work on this. I can be writing. I can be doing the things I need to do to meet up with my accountability partner and say, okay, we're meeting at 7. Yes, we're meeting at 7. Okay. But you also want one of those accountability partners that will say, hey, how's 6 o'clock work? I'd like to get some other things done. Find yourself an accountability partner or 2 or 3 and get together and write every single night. Or if you can't and you know that and it doesn't work, make it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make it Tuesday, Thursday. Whatever you need to make it. And if it's once a week, it's once a week. But make time for this. Looking through my list, guys, I don't think I have anything else. If you miss an episode of these 2.0s, go back and do it again, because every one of these episodes will have that sprinting time where you can fast forward to that and just do the sprint. Whatever it is that you want to do. Let's see, I mentioned the book signing. I need you all at the Civic Center September 27th from 10 to 5. If you're a reader, bring all of your friends. Thanks, Carl. If you're a reader, bring all your friends. If you're an author, do the same. Get a table. You're going to meet new people because this is a book nook is putting this on. I'm just helping. The book nook has always done like author setups, come meet the author and buy their book sort of thing. But her facility is very small, so she always had to do an outside venue, an outside thing. Now she can do what she wants to do as far as have all the authors come. They won't be just local. They will be from all over the Midwest. I don't think I have any coming from further than, say, like Iowa and Indiana. I don't think. We might have a few. But yeah, basically it's Midwest authors that some of you've heard of, some you haven't. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to get hotel info. I'm going to get restaurant info. I'm trying to do a dinner afterwards for all the authors and readers if you'd like to come. It won't be paid for. It'll be, we're all going to meet at a restaurant and crash the restaurant. So we'll see. It's shaping up to be a whole lot of fun. And I'm hoping I can get everybody there. All right, I think that is it. I've gone down my list 2 or 3 times. I do not see anything else that I'm missing that I need to tell you guys about. But if I am, I'll add that to my stuff for next Sunday. All right, guys. And if anybody wants to make me an intro video or an outro video for this new stuff, that'd be great because I don't know how to do those. All right. So that is it, guys. And I will see you on the flip-flop.